our guests today are the Leonard A. Hadley Chair in Leadership, Associate Dean for Professional Graduate Programs, and Professor Jen Blackhurst. Hey, Jen.
Hello, I'm excited.
Yeah. And we also have the Frank Business Communication Center affiliate, Director of Story Lab, and Associate Professor of Practice, Nick Westergaard. Welcome, Nick.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for coming. They have both graciously agreed to participate in this tough challenge with hot wings and hot questions. First off, we're going to go through the ground rules. For those viewing at home, if you signed our hot sauce waiver and you signed up before February 6th, then you should have received a package in the mail with a cup with hot sauce packets inside. Kind of look like this. If you would like to follow along, feel free to grab your own chicken wings, vegan wings, tortilla chips, or just your finger and try our hot sauce along with us. Please have your mics off for this event so we don't hear your pain, because we don't want to hear that. Sorry, you will hear ours. But the chat will be open, so feel free to chat along with us, and during one of the rounds, we will ask some of the chat questions. This event is meant to get to know our wonderful professors better and also have a shared experience.
So the way this event will be formatted is we have 5 sauces. You only receive 4 of those at home because the spiciest is way too spicy for you. Then we have 6 rounds of questions. During each round, we will eat a chicken wing and ask a question to our professors. The wings will get progressively spicier as we go through the event. There will be 4 rounds of questions and then a mixture round where we mix all the sauces together and then ask viewer questions. The final round where we unveil the spiciest wing. To our contestants, please do not touch your eyes or your face in general during this event. And there will be ranch and milk to cool things down if needed. So we've supplied that there. Nick and Jen, have you signed your waivers yet?
Not yet.
No, what if we just walked right now?
I don't know.
I read some of this and I'm a little concerned.
Very legalese.
Okay, we have to do it on camera.
You gotta do it.
On camera.
All right.
Wait,
Go.
It's happening.
go.
Perfect.
Oh, that's a beautiful.
There
Ooh,
is.
very good.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Nice.
impressed.
There is a clause in here for passing out. So if I pass out, I'm going to rely on Nick to revive me. I don't know. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Could you please show the camera your
Yeah,
signed
just-
waivers?
Perfect.
We're official, y'all.
There we go.
Please do not sue. Well, ready to start, y'all? You feel good?
Ready to go.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody. So we're going to describe our first sauce, and our first sauce will be Lola's Original Hot Sauce. If you're participating at home, it looks kind of like this. And Lola's is an Iowa-based company. This sauce is a blend of the freshest, all-natural ingredients for a delightful combo of sweet, smoky lime flavor with a zing that immediately goes away, hopefully. A perfect hot sauce to start us off.
Yes.
We all ready to take a bite?
Okay.
Let's do
All
it.
right,
do
let's
it.
take a bite.
A delightful blend.
Okay,
Yes,
here we
sir.
go.
All right.
I'm looking forward to the lime.
I would say it's delightful.
Very delightful. That's quite good.
Oh, Iowa.
All right.
I'm now having to remember not to touch
Mhm.
my face.
Mark?
So we're going to go with our first question here.
Okay.
Jen, you are the first one out of the gate.
All right.
Now, did you ever imagine you would find yourself in your current role? And what were some of the pivotal events that got you there?
So never imagined this type of role at all. I didn't even know this type of role existed. And I'm even thinking back to like when I began college and in my undergrad, I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So at one point, I was a Russian language major, hotel management, and then eventually found my way into what I was doing. But I think being in this role really stemmed from teaching in the MBA program, loving my interactions with you, the MBA students, because you're all really hungry for wings, not wings, knowledge, and just the interaction is like, from a teaching standpoint, it's so invigorating and wonderful. So in this role now, one of the reasons I really like it is because I can impact so many of our students in really a positive way, kind of coming up with new classes, new certificates, making sure that we have great opportunities for all of our students. So it's satisfying in that I feel like I'm making a positive difference, and I'm really, really proud of our program and our students. Great.
All right, Nick, you ready?
Yes.
Yeah, first question for you. You are involved in so many facets here in Tippy. Could you just tell the audience what you're involved in besides teaching our wonderful students?
Well, I teach in the MBA program, business communication, leadership communication and story, and social media marketing. I also run a program called Story Lab, which is all about teaching our students public speaking and executive presence skills through crafting and sharing stories. And I guess I also host the Tippy Leads podcast. So we had season 1 in the fall, and I'm working on season 2 right now.
That's awesome. I don't know if it's the wings or being in the studio, but I am starting to sweat, so I'm kind of worried as we move down the line here.
It'll just give you a nice glow.
Right,
Okay.
right.
All right, very good.
Well, are you ready? We're going to move on to our second sauce. Our second sauce, it is Melinda's Mexicana. It is the yellow packet that you would have received. It is made with fresh red hot peppers and spices for that chill forward burst of spicy flavor on your tongue.
Okay.
All right, let's give it a try.
Dig in.
Take a bite.
That was a more aggressive description than the last one.
Huh?
That one's tasty.
It is.
It's tangy. I
Tangy.
like the tanginess on this one. I am going to be curious for those playing along at home, how you are enjoying this. If you're just drinking it out of the packet, or if you're actually putting it on something. This one was really good. Very tangy. But I am going to have water.
Smart.
Okay.
Don't need that milk quite yet. but
Not yet.
We're getting closer.
See, I'm hitting the whole wing because it's I know that teaching night and eating is always tricky. That's like my go-to small talk is what are you doing for food tonight? So I'm eating this wing and
There you go. There you go.
Well, that's great because our first question's for Jen.
Okay.
So we'd love to hear about your transition from an engineering background into leadership in academia. And what are some skills you learned in engineering that you've applied to your role now?
Great. So when I was getting my engineering degrees, I didn't even know that it was an option to go into a college of business, but a lot of my research early on, all the way through today, focuses on supply chain management, which is what I teach to you all in the program. So finding that path, I think was great and wonderful. And one of the things I really like working in a business school is the focus on an idea, a research paper, a project that can be applied to industry, and it can really make a difference. And it's partly why I love teaching the supply chain program as well. Some of the characteristics, I touched my face. Some of the characteristics of being an engineer that I do think help me. I am process oriented. I really like a good process, maybe to the annoyance of people I work with. And then really using data to help make decisions. And so I think that's really important. My area of engineering is actually industrial engineering, which I like to describe as kind of the melding of people and systems together. So I think it's kind of the perfect mix for what I do now. And I really build upon it and call on those skills in my role on a day-to-day basis.
Thanks, Jen.
Nick,
yes.
what is one of the hottest business trends right now that you can identify? And what piece of advice would you have wanted to have received as you were furthering your career? It's a two-part question.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I'm trying to think about those two together. I feel like you gotta say AI
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
days. And I do think that that's important, but I also think that there are aspects of things that can really help your day. So look for ways that it can fit in, especially as we're looking at continuously doing more, often with less. And there's a lot of bandwidth that it can help us add to our work. So I know I am a producer and host of a couple different podcasts, and I know for that, that's kind of one man band work. And I would overthink things like episode titles, and you know I love getting the kind of the jumping off point of what are 10 options, and if I don't go with one that AI gives me, it at least gets me into the ballpark and saves some of my processing power. But I feel like advice would be different. I think that we often expect our careers to kind of go up and to the right. And I think that squiggly paths are not only okay, but how most of us have ended up where we are.
That's a great piece of advice.
It is. And as you were talking, I was just thinking that a lot of our students, will leverage their skills to get promotions, and this is wonderful. But we also track things like we track the squiggles, right? If you're moving into a new functional area or a new part of the business that you find really exciting, that you can build off of the skills that you gain in the program, as an example. So I agree, those squiggly lines are exciting.
So fun.
Yeah, good.
We also
Yeah.
got a comment, it sounds like, that Cassie really liked the first hot sauce. So I just want to acknowledge
All right.
Cassie there.
All right.
Glad
Thanks, Cassie.
we're
for that
hoping people like
feedback.
the third one as well.
Yeah,
So
well,
we're stopping
That's
here.
where we're going.
So moving on to the third sauce, and that is our Melinda's Black Truffle. So for you at home that have this, it looks like this packet right here. And it is a rich and complex flavor from the perfect blend of Italian black truffles, cayenne peppers, and just a touch of fine Colombian honey.
Not just Colombian honey.
Yes.
Fine. Colombian.
And these are all flavors that I really like. So
Right, I
putting them
know.
together, which I never
yeah.
would have thought of. Okay, are we ready?
Yes, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
It's a big boy.
This one is definitely spicier.
Yeah. Kicked it up a notch.
I can taste the truffles at the end. It
Good.
is sweet, but I'm not getting a super strong hit of honey. I'm getting the truffles more. It's really good.
If the Colombian honey was more fine, I
Yeah.
think we would probably.
Bit
A little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That is hitting me now. It is a little bit stronger than the last.
Mhm.
What do
Don't get
you
worried.
think? Are you getting the heat now?
I am getting the heat. Yeah, it's kind of surrounding me. So it's a hug.
It's a warm hug.
It is with fine Colombian honey.
Well, we'll ask a question to Jen first.
Great.
And our question for you is, what's the most surprising or out of the box choice you've seen one of our students make in their career?
This one, I don't know if I can point to a specific example, but I am going to slightly age myself, or absolutely age myself. So I've been in academics for almost 25 years. And I think a change and a surprising trend for me that I really enjoy seeing is students. Of course, you want jobs where your income is great, but students today care about that, but also are picking jobs and industries and projects that mean something deeply personal to them, that they get great satisfaction. So I really like I really like seeing that and having students pick a path that they're truly passionate about. And I don't know that, you know, a couple of decades ago that was kind of a hot trend or something that was really happening. So that I think is super exciting to see.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks, Jen.
Well, kind of moving off of that, Nick, what do you see as like one of the most challenging things that students face in our GPP programs?
In terms of challenges, I mean, I think that I commend all of you because it's a lot. You know, everybody has a lot of things going on in terms of life, family, kids, work, maybe another side hustle as well, a family business. And so I think just kind of the continual juggling of all of it. But it's also one of the things that I'm the most proud of with our program, because I think we really try to meet people where they are. And, you know, I feel like I say at least once a week in class or interacting with a student that we know that life happens. So we're gonna work with you. I mean, I always, you know, see people that have are doing our classes from the car at soccer practice, and you know, they say, could I not be called on for the impromptu talk tonight because I'm, you know, in the back of a noisy gym or something. And you know, I'm happy to help because again, that's I think what we really are good at and kind of have planted our flag in.
Yeah. The accessibility that students can continue on no matter if they moved or on a work trip or whatever. I love that we can do that for our students.
Yeah, and I like when, you know, when I'm traveling and teaching, I like that because it makes me feel like I'm part of the club. You know, I had a student last week or a couple weeks ago that was at sitting at an airport terminal, like we could see the gate sign behind them, and so yeah, I just think that again, there's a lot of challenges, but you all are tackling them.
I taught a class once when I was in Istanbul, and the time difference was kind of weird that I had the background of the window, and it was completely opposite of what was happening with what in my students' lives, right? So that one was kind of cool. But I taught it from Istanbul.
What time in the morning, or what time was it there?
I think it was an 8-hour difference, and so I had to wake up kind of in the middle of the night and be like, "All right, get ready to go." I needed some hot sauce to get me going.
Right. It's Mountain Dew too.
They know me. My one bad habit.
Well, we're like halfway through here. We're going to move on to our fourth sauce, which is Melinda's fire roasted garlic habanero. All right. This is where flavor rises from the fire like a garlic roasted phoenix. Savory, rich, and fiery, this roasted pepper sauce is unlike any other. So
dig in,
okay. Grab that phoenix and
If
go.
you go down, you'll at least rise back up like the mighty phoenix.
Yeah.
Puts you on the front.
If you're following along at home, okay, now it's really burning my
Both the front and the back.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to have water. It's hot. Okay.
Well,
Give me a
Jen, I'm
second.
gonna
Give
ask
me
you
a
a
second.
question.
No, give me a second. Give me a second.
We have a little chat comment here. That's interesting. So apparently Chris said that you would be attending class from Switzerland next week. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, timely. That'll be fun.
Nice.
Whew. Okay.
I'm with you.
It's burning. Yeah.
Well,
I feel like I've been tough. I haven't had the milk yet, but maybe it's coming. Maybe it's coming.
What was the biggest learning experience in your career, and how did you recover, aka get yourself out of some hot water?
Very funny, very funny.
So I think every one of us has had challenges in our career, big ones, little ones, things that happen every day. So as a professor and a researcher, one of the things that we focus on is publishing papers. And these papers are reviewed by our peers, and you go through a number of revisions, and sometimes they're rejected, and the rejection stings and it hurts, and all of these things. So, working on something, sometimes these projects are 6 months to a year, and then sending it out and having someone say, nope, that's no good, right? And so being able to bounce back and being resilient, I feel like is a skill I've developed over time. And it's a skill I'm pretty proud of. And in one that I even try to teach my own kids, that, if you get knocked down or something doesn't go your way, that's going to happen throughout your life. And so, get back up and figure out a path forward. The example of research, I just within the last year had a paper rejected at a journal, and it was really kind of devastating. But me and my co-authors stepped back and we said, okay, what can we do? Let's take the criticism. What can we do to make this better? Revised it, sent it to a different journal, and in the end it was accepted, and something I'm really proud of. But that resilience and that grit, bouncing back, I really, really like that. I think that's so important.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, Nick, we got a 3-part question here.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Should I take notes?
Yeah. I want to write this down.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like a debate where I'm taking notes.
So, Nick, with over 500 episodes of the On Brand podcast, that's a lot of guests that you've obviously had on your show. Are there any guests that stand out to you as maybe most memorable? Second part to that, is there any guests that you were intimidated to maybe ask to have on the show? And then I'll ask you the last question afterward.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna make short work because I think I can combine the two questions, because one that I was probably the most excited about was when I got to interview Alan Alda. So what's really fascinating is, and dating myself, but beyond MASH and all of the other fun Alan Alda stuff, I always remember him as the host of the PBS show Scientific American Frontiers. And it was just fun watching him learn about self-driving cars and all sorts of interesting things. But come to find out, because he found scientists, maybe even engineers, a little challenging to draw out and learn from, he founded a center that is all about communicating science at Stony Brook University. And he had a book out that was about that, and it got pitched to me. And so I got to talk. So I was really excited. So that is the first part of the question. The second part is the downside of being really excited about a guest, because I feel, and you can go listen to it, that it was a little bit like the Chris Farley show on Saturday Night Live, where you remember when that was awesome. Yeah, he's talking to Paul McCartney. You remember when you were in the Beatles? So I feel like the first third of the interview is me doing that with Alan Alda a little bit, but he couldn't be a sweeter guy. So I that is one of my favorites.
Thank you. Yeah, I get very nervous around celebrities myself, so I don't know how you did it. I guess the last question, just on the podcast topic, a lot of people out there want to start their own podcast, have that side hustle. Do you have any advice for someone starting a podcast?
I think podcasts specifically, I think the biggest thing is, I feel like that we talk about podcasts a lot, but I should do that. But I think the first step is really being a consumer of podcasts first, and not just communication, marketing, engineering, supply chain podcasts. Listen to fun podcasts. Not that those aren't fun. To us, those are fun.
That's right.
But listen to ones that are just silly, because you can pick up things that you might be able to incorporate in what you're doing as well.
I love that.
Can I make a confession? My silly podcasts aren't even silly, but I like true crime.
Oh, yeah.
Murder
Murder
podcasts.
podcasts. Yeah.
I like those.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. Can't beat Serial
No.
season
Yeah.
1 still.
Wow.
Just a little light listening.
Yeah, just fun stuff.
Well, we're on to our wild next round, which is our lightning mixture round. And we're going to need y'all's help on this one. So in this round, we actually mix together all 4 of the previous sauces we just tried. So it kind of tastes pretty gross, probably.
I think it is.
And we're also going to string together some viewer questions. So we're going to try to ask as many questions as we can in
Okay.
a 5-minute period. So this is a great time to throw your questions in the chat, because we're going to use those to read off. We're looking for really fast questions if we can, and then fast answers.
Okay.
But it depends on how quickly the chat's coming in. So if you all could start throwing those chats in there, that'd be amazing. And Beth, once we take a bite of our wings, we're going to start the 5-minute timer. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. Are we
So,
doing this?
ready
Or
for
my-
this gross one? Yes.
My
Think of
lips are
anything
burning.
before we go?
I feel like there's a lot of flavors that don't necessarily go together.
Not-
It's his idea.
yeah.
All right.
Don't bother me, please.
I don't like this either.
All right.
Alright, here we go.
All right.
This is the one I'm not excited about, but we're gonna try it. It's actually the sauciest wing.
It's
I've got a lot of fun.
got a lot going on there. It's truffly and honey.
The truffle is coming through.
It is. It's the power of the truffle.
Okay, it's not bad, but I taste truffle. This is good.
It's better than I thought.
It is better. All right, so I'm not as upset with you now, right?
We need to contact Melinda to get
I
this
know.
idea, I guess.
Yeah.
I know. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Bring it.
Okay. We have a couple of questions in the chat so far. So please throw some more in there. We will start off with the first question. So I guess, what was your first thought when you were asked to be a guest at this event?
I was a little bit nervous walking into it, like eating on camera and all of that. But the thing I like most about this event, that now that we're in it, is that the people at home are trying the hot sauce as well. I just think that's awesome. So you're hopefully feeling your lips blow up like mine are.
I think all 3 of you cornered me at the same time. And so I had very little time to think, but I just said yes.
Yeah.
I think we asked you specifically,
You like
do you like hot sauce?
Please. What are you superstitious about? Anything? You can also pass if you're not.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Oh,
I can't think of what I am superstitious about.
I can't either. I feel like the people in my orbit are superstitious. My wife's always throwing salt over the shoulder,
Yeah.
not aiming, and I'm getting hit with salt.
Yeah, there you go.
So, but so I don't know that I am.
Just a little stitious,
Just
not
Yeah,
superstitious.
not super.
No,
a
I
little
don't.
stitious.
little stitches.
I wish I had a better answer.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
I'm not.
That's okay. We got another question here. What's a song you're ashamed that you like?
Shake It Off.
Classic.
Yep.
I mean, I like Britney Spears, so all of that, right? Dance party at my house, right?
Call me maybe.
Toxic.
Call me maybe.
Toxic.
Yeah.
That's kind of the one.
Someone asks, what are some ways that AI can be useful in a business setting? A little harder. Just give us one thing.
Being more efficient.
Yeah.
That's right. I love that. Let me see here. What's a favorite thing about working here at Tippy?
Ooh, the people. I really like everybody that we work with, and yeah, It is you.
My
It's,
heart.
it's Nick. It's actually, it's just Nick. Nick is what's amazing about working at Tippy.
I see. I for a second you said Nick, and I was like, wait,
Wow.
That's the
Wait a
thing about
minute.
the two Nicks at the table.
I will just build on your answer and say that it's both the people at Tippy and it is the folks you can't see right now, like Jake and also Hannah, who is part of Tippy, but
That's right.
everybody else that helps us to, and Nicole, who's out there going through all of these questions. So we have a great system of people that you can't always see, but are helping us do great things.
Mhm.
Perfect.
I saw one that said ranch or blue cheese.
Blue cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we
Agree.
agree.
Sorry,
Okay.
Brian. That's on
All
us.
right.
How about a sports team that you follow beside the Iowa Hawkeyes? Is there any sports team favorites?
You know, I would say more than a team. I'm just thinking, like, first thought, like right now, the unrivaled 3-on-3
Oh.
is
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
And it's like, and that is a weird thing it's great to follow, but it's weird because we're kind of rooting for all the teams.
Yeah.
And it's fun because you can see Kate Martin play a
That's
ton.
right. Go
So
Laces.
go Laces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, there's a good question, Nick. You get to have dinner with 3 people. Who would they be?
Oh,
Oh,
Are they all alive
dead or alive.
Dead or
or we going dead? We're going dead.
They're not
here.
dead at the party, but they can be dead and resurrected for that.
Okay, jeez.
Not dead.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
Well,
dead at dinner.
three's a lot. I mean, I feel like I had to ask the dead thing because I'm fascinated. I'm a history dad.
yeah.
My kids call me a D1 plaque reader, so I'm usually holding us up, looking at the
Should go to
plaque.
museums with you.
Should not,
Okay.
unless you're also a plaque reader. But I would say Abraham Lincoln because of that. I think he's a fascinating person, and folks that have me in class know that I talk about him a lot as a communicator too. So
It's interesting.
I got one person. Who else would you invite? Maybe we can throw together
Tag
the dinner
team.
party here.
Like Julius Caesar to see how he inspired people and was a leader.
Okay, and if it's a dinner party to get the third, we've got Julia Child.
Okay,
So,
I'm with you on that.
done. There's three.
Agreed. Agreed.
None of them are still above ground though, so I'm glad that we can resurrect them.
Got a question from a local Iowan here in the Iowa City area. Do you have any advice for someone looking to integrate into this campus as a grad student?
We have on-campus events that our students are invited to through our on-campus programs. And even in the summer, there's lots of events where we do receptions when we bring our Nelson Mandela Fellows in and our students from our Italian program Chimba. So really looking for, check the websites, the communications, but I think there's actually lots of ways that students can integrate and come in and meet us, like set up an appointment to check the campus out, meet some of your professors. Like we love to meet students in person. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's do one more question.
What's a superpower that you would pick to have?
Does it have? I think it's flying, right? I mean, that's the first one that shows up. I'm not sure if that's the best choice.
That is what first popped in my mind, but I'm gonna go a little bit more devious, and I want to be able to read people's thoughts.
Wow, flying.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, thank you all for going through our first
Yeah.
round. It wasn't as bad as we
Absolutely.
thought it would be, so that's a win. You can still keep throwing things in the chat if we do have time at the end, and we're not too dying from the hot sauces. We may have time to ask those questions as well.
That's right. So, are we ready?
The
We're
spicy
ready.
spice. All right.
Yes, we have our final wing here. It's Melinda's scorpion sauce. There's no training wheels here. Legal said this sauce is so hot that we couldn't send it to you folks out there.
Oh no.
This is Melinda's hottest sauce
Is it
made
this?
with 2 million Scoville Trinidad Moruga scorpion pepper. I don't even know if I said that
I
right.
don't know what those words are, but they sound not good.
On a scale of 5,
Yeah.
this is an 11.
Did you make that up?
No.
Spray from Melinda's.
It is also a tradition here to add an additional dab on top of the wing. You don't have to, but we're all gonna do it.
You don't have to. We're all gonna do it.
But Nick and I are gonna do it.
Okay,
So
we're
an additional dab onto yours.
Oh my gosh, it comes out fast.
It comes out a little faster than you
Okay,
think.
sorry.
All right.
That's okay.
All right,
That's
here we
okay.
go.
Okay.
We're doing
All
this?
right. So this is
You want to cheers me?
yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
11.
All right.
11,
Cheers.
11.
Do this for you all.
When I first bit into it, I was like, this isn't bad at all. That was bad. Oh my god.
It is.
Okay.
Okay.
So that we legally weren't allowed to send this one out. I think that Nick should have tested my Nick, who I said was amazing, should have tested this before we ate this live. Okay.
I should have put
Milk.
the flavor to not get fired for
Milk.
making you go through this.
I'll drink milk with you.
2 bites, everyone. Because I'm hungry, but that was not worth it.
Are you milking it? Oh, it's
Right.
still burning.
Yeah.
There's a little water.
See, I haven't tried to speak yet, and you all have. And I thought, I think that's how I'm holding on to it, because I think speaking is somehow making it worse.
It's the air getting.
It is, yeah. See,
Apparently-
I was a closed system here for a bit. Now,
I need to admit that before this, I was bragging to everybody like I can handle hot sauce. Like this is gonna be nothing. And oh, it's
Oh.
hot. It's hot. Okay.
This is unpleasant.
Yeah.
Apparently, the viewers are very nervous for us though right now, but they're also impressed with apparently Nick's ability to be calm. He's
Going.
He's even not clean, everyone. So
Yeah. If
Yeah.
you're really tough, we
Oh.
could a little bit more out.
oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna just,
first time in
Okay.
Hot Wing Challenge history.
well,
That
this is the first time here,
The first.
so we have to set the bar very high.
There you
So
go.
okay. All right.
I haven't worked left on.
Okay.
Oh no!
We all make mistakes.
And that was one of them.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna ask our first question to Jen because
Okay.
she's
Good.
not most recently eating hot wings.
Okay.
So Jen, what is it about teaching our students that keeps you coming back and doing it again?
I think it's the curiosity, the self-motivation to learn. But the other thing I love teaching about MBA students is I learn from them and they learn from each other. So, you know, if we're talking about a supply chain problem, you know, somebody who works in healthcare might talk about something that I'd never heard of. And so why are you laughing? Is it Nick making faces?
Nick's eyes are watering. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry to call you out there.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's on.
No, she's saying important, smart
Yeah.
things that you should be listening to. And
My kids say that they like it when I can talk smart. So hopefully I was talking smart right there, but my mouth is burning and I don't think I was.
Thank you, Jen. Hard to think right now, but we're gonna ask the exact same question, Nick. Obviously,
and
you
that
weren't involved
question
in
was,
Remember.
no one remembers. That's okay. You know, obviously you're involved with so much with Tiffy, but what keeps you coming back to teach our students?
I love that. I mean, among all the title stuff, I love being a practice track professor because I love integrating what's going on out in the world in the classroom and building on what Jen said. I love that we can do that in our synchronous sessions, are my favorite part of the class. I mean, I know we tend to think about all the pre-recorded content as the content of class, but I love, just last night, hearing about, we were talking about social media marketing implementation and hearing about all the different people that we have at all the different types of organizations. And to me, that is the class content.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I agree. As a student too, I love our synchronous sessions. I wasn't sure, coming into an online program, but they make a huge difference. So yeah, thanks for teaching them.
I do think like it's a way that when I first heard about our program, right? When would you develop a class for this? And I was like, oh, can I really connect with students? And I can, and I do. So that was a surprising, wonderful thing that has come out of it.
And I think we get better and better at it, like on both sides of the camera.
Yeah.
And so
Well, we made it through the wings. How are we feeling? Just checking in right now.
Good.
How's that temperature level?
Good. I did see one of the comments, not to steal your thunder,
Yeah,
but it said, someone said silence can mean it's hot too. And yes, that.
Agreed. We feel it. Well, since you made it through our challenge and you did great work, we're going to give each of you 1 minute to promote what you got going on.
Ooh,
We're going to
okay.
start with Jen.
All right. What we have going on at the program level as a whole is a focus on creating even more certificates for our students. And when we create them, we're looking at industry trends. We're talking with companies. We're talking with alumni, current students, our advisory boards. And so the continual focus to develop new and exciting things is something that I'm proud of. And we have 2 new AI certs. So we had lots of discussions about AI, but 2 new AI certs that are being rolled out that I'm really excited to see the impact of those and how they take off. And even AI in like our business communication certificate has one of the classes really focuses on AI. So it's sprinkled throughout the curriculum. And we're constantly looking at new and in-demand certs. And so that takes up a lot of my time, and it's really cool to be able to do it.
Sure it does. Thank you so much, Jen. Nick, 1 minute.
All right. It's going to be less than a minute because this is on my lips and it's hurting. So I mentioned that I host the Tippy Leads podcast, and our first 8-episode season from fall was all about employee engagement. So each season we pick a new theme, some sort of grand challenge in the world of work. And our second season is going to focus on risk, because we think that that's something that Tippy really leads in, and really talking about risk in a lot of different ways. So natural and man-made disasters, lots of the risk of speaking up at work, of a CEO making a stance about something. So lots of different things, looking at that through the lens of risk. So subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen.
Great.
Thank you both so much.
We'd like to take a couple minutes. We have a few minutes left here. We'd like to open to some questions. Feel free to throw those in the chat, and we will get those here on a screen to us. So if you have anything, I do see there's one that came through. It says, what's one piece of advice you would give to a young professional looking to grow their career? So we kind of touched on that a little bit, but maybe just what would be one little nugget you'd offer?
I would say, you're in our program, and so look to take classes in areas that you're uncomfortable in. This is a safe place to learn, to grow. You don't have to be perfect right off the bat. And, talk with your advising team about what are kind of the areas in your industry. Talk to our career coaching team on where can you upskill depending on your goals, right? It's such a broad question, and it really kind of depends. But I love the idea of our students being able to try new things, and to, like, you don't want to come in and just take classes on everything that you're good at, that you'd be very comfortable, but take something that kind of scares you, right? And learn it, and learn from your peers in the classroom. So it's kind of a broad answer, but I just think this is your time to I say your time to fail, and I do not mean fail in your classes, but
Please.
fail in that, you don't have to be perfect right off the bat. You can learn things. You can try something and it doesn't work, or talk it through with your peers and your professor. So again, do not fail classes, but try new things.
I would say look for ways to, as more of our work and life is pushed digitally, continue to look for ways to connect with real people. And I
like that.
I say that as much to myself as just a reminder of, have coffee, have lunch, and don't necessarily, have an objective with the coffee or lunch too. So
I do also think, building on your areas of expertise, one's ability to tell a story of who they are, why they want a job. I just think it's a skill set that needs to be practiced. I learned from listening to your podcast and going to some of your events. So that storytelling applies everywhere, and it's such a critical skill.
that was a version of my answer that I was chewing on too. But what I say a lot to undergrads that applies really to anybody is that tell me about yourself shouldn't be a gotcha question.
Yeah. There's a good question there.
Wonder if our mics are so good that they can hear our sniffles right now.
I know.
I have no idea.
Might
Oh, it's all running.
Yeah, everything is right. We got a question in the chat here. So what is one of your guiding business principles, or who is someone in business that you have followed?
I'm going to answer in a slightly different format. So I'm going to answer in how we have developed the Iowa MBA program and how we keep moving it forward. And I talk about our North Star, our guiding principles, and it's, the affordability, the accessibility, the very high quality, the fact that every student in our program has the ability to talk to their advising team, talk to the career team. So, a very personalized environment. Those are the things that I'm always thinking about on how can we make this the best possible experience for our students. And we ask ourselves as a team, if it's not meeting those things, we shouldn't be doing it. And so that focus on student and driving every improvement towards those things that make it the best experience for our students.
Thank you.
I would say, kind of building on the story concept, there's one that I often close Story Lab with, and it comes from, it's not really business principles that I follow, but we use a book by the nonprofit The Moth, who and in that they say that when you choose to share a story, you share a piece of yourself. So I think kind of building on that, I think is something important to do. And another kind of more business-centric side of that would be Doug Conant, who was the former CEO of Campbell's Soup Company, says that your life story is your leadership story. And I think that's an important thing to remember as you bring all of yourself with you to work too.
Well, thank you to both of you for sharing a piece of yourself this evening here. You may have left some of your taste buds
Oh,
here.
right. I was going to say that's
Yeah, we just want to say thank you to both our guests here, Nick and Jen. Thank you for the time. Thank you for being willing to eat that hot sauce and make time for our students. We really appreciate that. We want to give a special thank you to a few people behind the camera. One of them is Hannah, who's actually taking pictures of us for social media. Sorry, Hannah, I didn't tell you we'd say anything, but making us feel like celebrities. So very exciting. And also to our team here at the Distance and Online Education Center. Jake is actually behind the camera. He's been running this whole thing. So thank you so much, Jake. And also Mark Hamilton for getting us set up with this beautiful stage. We feel so honored, and this is the coolest thing we've ever done, probably. So
Absolutely.
but thank you all, and thank you to our students who came and participated. If you like it, let us know. And then we can maybe do this again in the future.
Absolutely.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun, even though I didn't like the last one.
Okay.
Very good. All right. We'll see you next time. Go Hawks.
Go Hawkeyes.
Go Hawks.